question to explain the turning effect or the stationary point. You have to find the stationary point on the graph of the function. This is the graph, which is y is equals to s cubed over 3 minus s squared over 2 minus 2s plus 5. And we have to distinguish between these stationary points. We explained initially that stationary points are the points where the slope is equals to 0. That is, where the slope is static, because the y ds represents the gradient or the slope. And the first thing you have to know is that this function you are given, which is y is equals to s cubed over 3 minus s squared over 2 minus 2s plus 5. Then on this graph, when you are looking for the stationary point, we call it stationary because the slope is equals to what? 0. The slope is static. So you find the derivative here. That's 3s squared all over 3 minus 2s all over 2 minus 2 minus 2. Then the stationary you have to be equals to 0 according to this explanation. So we cancel this out, cancel this out. Then we have s squared minus s minus 2 equals to 0. Equals to 0. Then we can deal with this. What I was explaining initially, I said the value for the s will determine y. That means the stationary point will occur at a point on x. So that means we have to find the point on s where the stationary point for y occurs. Then I can factorize this. And if I factorize this, the factor will be, or using the general method, anyone you choose to use, the factors will be 1 times 2 is 2. 1 times 2 is 2. Then we can have it to be minus 2 plus 1. Minus 2 plus 1 will give us minus 1. Then minus 2 times 1 will give us 2 minus 2. So this can be expressed, changing this side, that will be what? Minus 2s plus x minus 2 equals 0. Then factorizing this out, s minus 2 plus 1 s minus 2 equals to 0. Factorizing again, s minus 2 s plus 1 equals to 0. So the point on s where the stationary point occur is going to be, this one is equals to 0, this one is equals to 0, and this one will be 2, and s will be what? Minus 1. So those points where this stationary point occur on s is going to be when s is 2 and when s is minus 1, then we have the stationary point. Now, the stationary point for y occurs on x is 2 and s is minus 1. But we are expected to find the stationary point, that is, we are expected to find the stationary point. What are the stationary point? That is it minimum or maximum or point of inflation? And I told you that to find the stationary point, then we have to find the nature of the stationary point, then we have to differentiate the function the second time. My dy dx was given to be what? S squared minus x minus 2 equals 0. Then we can also differentiate it again by looking for the 2y dx squared. That's differentiating this function again. Differentiating this function again, or let me write this function. Let me write the function first. That is s squared minus s minus 2. Differentiating the function again, the 2y dx squared. Then we have 2x minus 1. This one is not equals to 0. Then what we need here is that the stationary point will occur at s equals, according to this, s equals 2 and at s equals minus 1. So substituting this point in turn, then we have when s is 2, when s is 2, then we have 2 into bracket 2 minus 1. Then so will give us 4 minus 1, and that is 3. So this one is what? Greater than 0, and that means it is positive. So if the 2y dx squared is greater than 0 after substituting that point, then at s equals 2, if it is greater than 0, which is positive, then we have what? The minimum point. According to our previous explanation, it means that minimum point occur at this point of x when s is 2. The point of y that you are having there is the minimum point. Also, substituting for x, which is at minus 1, then we have 2x minus 1. Then we have 2 into bracket minus 1 minus 1. Then we have 2 minus 2 minus 1. Then we have our answer to be what? Minus 3. Minus 3 is less than 0. And this point is what? The maximum point. Because if it is maximum, if the 2y, the second derivative, the x squared, if it is less than 0, then we have what? At the point s, which is equal to what? Minus 1, then we have what? Maximum point. And that will be explanation of both minimum and maximum point. Then that marks the end of the first aspect of difference of calculus, which we call the differential calculus. Then briefly we are going to discuss the integral calculus.